Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another Cook With Me video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how easy it is to make chicken cutlets with Parmesan cream sauce. I shared this in a recent What I Eat in a Day video, and so many of you commented and asked if I could share with you how I make this recipe. So I'm going to take you along today and show you how easy this is to do. So these are the ingredients we need. Over here, I'm going to use some avocado oil and also some olive oil. I have 2 5-ounce chicken breasts. I have a half a tablespoon of flour, 2 garlic cloves, and then I'm going to be using half a cup of unsweet cashew milk. You can use almond milk if you prefer. And also we're going to need Parmesan cheese. I need to pull that out of my fridge. So I'm just going to use a wedge of Parmesan cheese and I'm going to weigh it out. I'll just shred it myself and weigh it. We're going to need about 20 grams of that. And I think I have some mushrooms, so I may throw some mushrooms into this cream sauce, but you certainly can leave mushrooms out if you're not a fan of mushrooms. So let me show you how easy this is to put together. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my chicken cooking. So over medium-high heat, I have a medium pan here that I have about 1 teaspoon of olive oil in. So I let the pan get pretty hot first so that when I put the chicken on there, it's going to kind of start to sear right away. So just drop the chicken cutlets in there. This is basically just boneless, skinless chicken breast that I thin out. I just take a big, thick breast and cut it in half and then pound it down so that they're like cutlets. So now I'm going to take my Parmesan cheese and I'm going to get that. I like to use just the regular wedge and just shred that up myself. I've already minced up my garlic there. I had my 2 garlic cloves that I minced up. So I have here about 20 grams of Parmesan cheese that I'm grating up myself. But if you don't have the wedge kind, you can definitely use the kind that you can buy that's already grated. And also, if you don't have Parmesan cheese, feel free to use some other type of cheese as well. So now I'm just measuring out a 1/4 cup of the cheese. That's how much is going to go into the sauce itself. I do end up sprinkling a little bit over the top as well, but for points and calories, you want a total of 20 grams. And then also, like I said, I have my unsweetened cashew milk there as well. So now I'm going to flip the chicken over. So I usually put the chicken on for 6 minutes untouched. I don't push it around in the pan. When I first put it in there, I leave it for about 6 minutes and then that's what it ends up looking like. So now I've flipped it and I'm going to let it cook for another 5 to 6 minutes on the other side as well. So then once the chicken is cooked on both sides and you have a nice sear on both sides, just take it out of the pan and we're just going to set this aside and just let it rest for a little bit. So afterwards, let that pan just cool down just a little bit and then you want to put it back on another burner or the same burner. I usually use a different burner just so that it's not quite as hot. And then this is where I'm adding the 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. And I have this burner on medium high. So just kind of swirl that avocado oil all around there. Now we're going to add the 2 cloves of minced garlic and you want to just let that cook for between 30 seconds and a minute. You don't want it to burn. You don't want, once you start smelling the fragrance of it, then it's done cooking. You don't want to keep cooking it anymore. So now to that, we're going to add half a tablespoon of flour and just stir that together until you don't really see the white from the flour anymore. And then add in the cashew milk, or if you're using almond milk. I didn't measure it out because when I made this, I was just putting this recipe together, so I wasn't sure exactly how much I was going to be using, but I ended up using about a half a cup in the recipe. So you want to make sure to stir that pretty consistently because that will stick and burn to the bottom very fast. So just keep stirring it until it starts to thicken and bubble like that. And then the next thing we're going to do is add the Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to be adding almost all of this. I did end up having all 20 grams in that 1/4 cup. So I added all but a little bit, and then that little bit I'll save for the topping after. So the points and calories are based on 20 grams of Parmesan cheese. So just stir that all together, mix it until, again, it's thickened and bubbly. And then now I'm going to add in my mushrooms. You definitely don't need to add mushrooms if you don't want. That's why I didn't call this a mushroom cream sauce. Normally I would call it a Parmesan mushroom cream sauce, but I just went with Parmesan cream sauce since that was really primarily the focus. But feel free to add mushrooms or keep them out. So for my side on this, I just chose to have just a regular side salad with mixed greens, and I'm just gonna have some oil and vinegar with that. I was trying to keep my dinner fairly light for tonight. When I made this dish, it was actually the night before Super Bowl, so I was trying to keep my points and calories down fairly low to make up for if I overate on Super Bowl Sunday, which I didn't. So now just put that chicken right on your plate and then just top it with the sauce. So this made enough for two. I have just one for me and one for my husband. So if you're making adjustments, like you have a family of 4, feel free to double the recipe. Or if you're just making it for yourself, you could actually have this for dinner and then also for a lunch the next day. Or if you're cooking for just yourself and you don't like to have leftovers, then you can definitely just cut the recipe in half and just make one serving. So for my salad, I've been just putting oil and vinegar as my dressing. I've really been enjoying that lately. It just, to me, the flavor of olive oil is really good. I know a lot of people don't like the flavor of olive oil. And then now here I'm just adding some little slivered almonds to my salad as well. So now I'm adding some Parmesan to both the salad and the chicken. But again, just remember the Parmesan cheese, depending how much you put in the pan versus how much you put over the top, split it however you want. But for the points and calories, it's the 20 grams. And that is what it looks like. And I'm telling you, it was so good. So for the points and calories, just for the chicken and the Parmesan cream sauce, it was 289 calories. And if you're one who's keeping track of your macros and keeping track of your protein, it was 31 grams of protein. And then for points, for me, for points, it was 4 points. My chicken breast is 0. So if you count your chicken breast, then it's going to be a little bit higher, but not too much. Chicken breast is fairly low in points. But as always, I'll put a link down in the description box to the recipe. And once you get to the recipe on my website, if you're counting calories, it will have all your nutritional information there if you're watching your macros and all that. But if you are on WW, there'll be a link. So you can click that link and it'll bring you straight to your WW page so you can see what the points are for your personal points. And you can also track it from there as well. So this recipe was amazing. My husband and I both loved it. So I will definitely be making it again. So let me know in the comments if you end up trying this and what you think of it. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.